Redskins here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you see me, you know everything. Green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. I put it down, representing for my team. I'm in green.
What do these walkthrough days and days where you're able to take it easy, ride the bike mean to you as the season progresses, especially with a lot of road games coming up and that travel on your body, around your body?
Well, I mean, the schedule's set up the last couple of weeks to kind of offload for some of the vets. My knee's been bothering me a little bit, as you guys have seen on the injury report, but I've been feeling good on game day, and so it just, offloads the joints for a day, which is nice.
It was pretty hard to win a run game last year. You guys were 3-0 on the road, and all 3 wins are pretty impressive. What do you think the difference has been from last year to this year?
Well, I think we're just learning how to win in different ways and dealing with adversity a little bit better. I think we've definitely finished on offense a lot better than in years past, especially on the road. Think about all 3 of those wins. We had closeout drives, just about in the Chicago game and Dallas, and then the other night backed up on the 2-yard line. That's winning football that we just didn't do a whole lot of last year. And then timely stops on defense when the momentum is starting to swing or it's kind of evening up. Give us a leg up with that forced fumble and recovery by Tyler. Help swing the momentum back in our favor, and then they go out and score, and we answer back with a screen that goes 60 for a touchdown. We just didn't have those big momentum plays last year, and then close out the games as well as we have so far.
What have you heard from other guys you may have talked to about what it's like to play a road game in the Chargers soccer stadium and with the opposing fans coming in, and what do you expect with your fan base going in?
I just talked to a station out there that they're expecting 3 quarters green and gold, so that'd be nice. I'm sure it's tough for the home team as they wait for their stadium to be built to have those home games be more like road games when a team like Green Bay comes to town. We played in Qualcomm back in 11, and as we were up 45-38 late in that game, I remember Phil was having to go silent count because our fans were so loud. I remember walking on the field in pregame and heard this absolute roar coming from my left, and couldn't believe the noise from the Packer fans. Our fans obviously travel really well. I've filmed a couple commercials in that stadium. It's obviously small for an NFL stadium, big for a soccer stadium, and a really nice environment. There shouldn't be really any bad seats in the house.
And when you were off to the side doing your exercise today, did you get a peek at what Devontae was doing and how he was running?
Oh, I've been keeping my eyes on 17 for a while, so I've got a pretty good idea how he's feeling, and obviously been watching him move around.
How do you think he looked today? It looked like, to us, it looked like he was moving a little bit more normally.
Yeah, he's feeling a lot more confident, I think, in the toe, and we're optimistic that he'll be back sooner rather than later, and I'm sure he's itching to get back out there.
On the ball to Umaro in the first quarter, was it an optical illusion, or did you slice that ball midair a little bit?
Well, the wind was kind of coming from the left a little bit, so I think the wind pushed it in a helpful direction. The righty's ball, especially rolling to the right, naturally tails a little bit to the right. So if you get a good spin on the ball, it should fall a little bit right, and then the wind was kind of helping from the left as well.
Do you throw it a special certain way to get more slice or more torque on the pass? On a pass like that, is there any different way that you throw it?
Well, it just depends on the angle. If you throw more over the top, you usually get a little bit more of that right-hand turn. If you drop it down a little bit, you can straighten it out a little bit. In that situation, I wasn't necessarily in the moment thinking, to throw the curve into the right. I was aware of the wind direction and tried to put it in a spot where we could come up with it, and he made a nice catch.
Aaron, what do you think of Bosa's motor on the San Diego defense?
Yeah, they got 2 great pass rushers. Their scheme is very sound. They did a nice job against the pass this season. So you're playing this defense. You got to stop the pass rush, and it starts with those two outside guys.
Aaron,
How about Casey?
With all the guys who've stepped up and taken advantage of their opportunity with Rodgers being out, whenever he does come back and those opportunities for those other guys maybe diminish, what mentality or mindset do you want them to take into each role?
Well, just to be ready, because you never know. You're one play away from being right back in the mix, and I think there's a lot of opportunities, and I think those guys don't automatically go to the bench or have a major diminished role. I think you have to keep rolling those guys in and giving them opportunities. They've earned it. Allen and Jake especially have earned opportunities, so we got to keep giving them a chance to be on the field and compete.
I know in the past you've talked about with 17 on the field, you want to throw it to him even more. Has the varied offense you've put on the field the last few weeks changed any of that mindset that, hey, we don't need to lean as heavily on him, or is it still get him the ball as many times as we possibly can?
Well, it's always been get it to the open guy. He's just more open than most people because he's so dynamic at the line of scrimmage and he's got such a great route tree. So we'll continue to do what we do and spread the ball around, but I would expect him to be open more times than not, so he's going to get his fair share of looks if he's in there.
You said earlier the team's playing better, dealing with adversity maybe better this year. Are these 7 one-off victories, or do they start to build on each other with a team like this? Does it become contagious? You can use it as stepping stones.
Yeah, I think the mentality can change for sure. It can go from a here we go again mindset to a we're going to find a way mindset. I think that's what we're starting to develop. A comfort with winning and an understanding of what it takes. And, Matt talks a lot about, not blinking in the face of adversity and pushing through tough situations. And I think that's what we've done really well so far is deal with those adverse moments and respond consistently. And I think the mindset for the guys is a very confident one and not, I hope we win and more how are we going to win and who's going to be the guy to step up and make a big play so that we leave here with a win.
If anything, this might be a good problem to have. Is there any challenge in bringing back Devontae to the level that he's always been and still keeping Aaron at the level he's been these past 4 games in the passing game and being able to balance both of those things?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I mean, we've had to make some things work without Devontae, and a lot of it has been involving not just Aaron, but Jamal in the passing game and using their strengths. But I like the contributions we've gotten from them and from Danny and from Big Dog and Jimmy. Been really important to our success in the run and the passing game, and obviously Jake and Gmo and Allen have been doing a good job. Adding Devontae back just brings another weapon to the mix, and will really he's going to get attention. For sure when he's out there. So that's what I mean. It's not like the ball is going to naturally go to him, 15 to 20 times a game. I mean, it will if he's open, but you would expect them to go back to trying to double him up and lock him down, which gives opportunities for other guys.
Obviously, Aaron gets a lot of the praise at running back, but what does having a number 2 like Jamal do for this offense?
Well, they're so different in their styles as far as running. I think it's good change-up for them. Jonesy's obviously a slasher, and Jamal's more of a one-cut and downhill and finisher, and he loves contact. It's been a good change-up for us, and then they're just so versatile in the passing game. I mean, I threw both of them out routes from wide splits coming down in motion last week for 3rd down conversions. One was in the 3rd quarter. Which kept the drive going, ended in points, and the other was to close the game out. I mean, that says a lot about the kind of ability these 2 guys have when you're calling a 3rd down play, and the number 1 guy on the play is a running back split out at receiver.
Speaking of 3rd downs, you're pretty bad the first 6 games as a team. You've been really good the last 2 weeks. Is there anything you can put a finger on there?
I think we've been staying out of 3rd and extra long, which has helped. We've had a lot more manageable. I think about the first 3rd down of the game was a 3rd and 3 or 4 we converted and kind of got going. Done a good job of making clutch plays too. The play to Jake, I believe, was on a 3rd down, and 3rd and 10. Guys dropped out. I kind of stepped in the pocket, hit Jimmy. He ran for a 1st down. So we've been doing a better job of making those work and staying out of some super extra long ones.
Aaron, starts like this 7-1, they don't come around every day. I know you had a great start in 07 when Brett was starting. You had a great start in 11. How does this compare both in the ways you're winning and how it feels to do so?
Yeah, it's about a mindset, and I think that, both those teams you mentioned believed that they were going to win every time you stepped on the field, and just kind of had that confidence that we were going to find a way. Didn't know how or who was going to be, big parts of it, but we just felt we were going to win. And I think that supreme confidence definitely helped us, get to where we wanted to go that year.
Tremont said after the game Sunday night, he told me what he's impressed is it seems like you found different ways to win with these 7 victories. And that's got to me that's got to be players that are communicating so you can make adjustments in a game. Is that a unique feel to this season so far?
Yeah, I think we've definitely found different recipes to victory every week. I think the staples are there, though. We've pushed through adversity. We've closed out games on both sides of the ball. We've had some really important special teams plays, whether it's a kick by Mason or a punt by JK, which have loomed large. And that's the fun part, is we're not just having to put up 40 every week and make it work on offense. We've won games on defense. We've won games good special teams play, and we're gaining confidence every week.
Aaron, when the helmet goes out like it did the other night, are you like, it's 2019, like how does this happen technology?
Well, the third time, yeah. I mean, it's strange for it to happen once in a year, but 3 times now in a year is definitely something we gotta figure out. But we got a little system, whether it's running the play in or signaling, and obviously we got the wristband if we got to go to that. But it's been a weird situation.
I mentioned it before in years past that it had, it went out here or there. Is there any time that you can remember that sticks out in the past that was the most inopportune or the most difficult to deal with?
Yeah, my first preseason game against San Diego. It went out, and I had only a few plays I knew pretty well, and I called arrow cross because that was kind of my go-to. I called 2-jet arrow cross and threw it to the zebra. I think it was Andre Thurman. I missed him. But that was pretty inopportune for my first game to play and for it to go out. It was kind of drizzling a little bit, and it kind of knocked out the column, I think. But the other night, I'm not worried about it. My understanding of the offense at this point is such that I can get us in a good play, whether we're in 11, 12, 21, whatever it is. But obviously it helps if I can hear Matt.
Is Casey
different ways that teams have tried to pressure you? You got some that just go with 4 and 3 or spy you, and then Spagnuolo started to bring some heat later. So when you're going through it each week, are teams trying to go out of their tendencies to try to pressure you, or how do you predict that as you're going into each game?
Well, you can't, and I think the analytics is great for a lot of things, but we haven't seen a lot of teams that have played straight to their tendencies. Steve was a little more on point with how they played the previous 2 games with a lot more pressure, because obviously they heated us up there, especially in the second quarter on. But we've seen a lot of too high this year, and that really hasn't been a theme throughout the league. So we've done a good job of adjusting in game. Matt's done a good job of making sure we got enough plays if teams want to come out and they've been strictly 1 high in their tendencies and come out and play a bunch of 2 high, which we've seen this year from Philly and Dallas and Oakland. So we've adjusted well.
You sometimes talk about getting another team's best when you're a good team. Teams gear up to play you. Do you feel like you get that with scheme too? You get a different scheme, not necessarily what people always do, but they gear up and do special stuff against you more than other opponents?
Well, I think they have a plan for sure. I mean, they want to keep me in the pocket. They want to, box me in with a rush, and then, some teams have made us kind of go the distance, dink and dunk, and run the football effectively. And we've found a way to move the ball down the field against 2 high, and we've obviously run the ball pretty effectively when we needed to.
Is Casey still the same Casey that was here 4 years ago? I guess with him and Desmond King, what were the challenges in the secondary?
Yeah, I think he's better. I always really enjoyed going against him in practice. He was a great teammate, a great locker room guy. Was sincerely surprised when we didn't offer him a contract to bring him back, but he made himself into an all-pro corner. with just more opportunities. When he was with us, he was playing primarily in the slot, and he's figured out how to play really, really well outside and predominantly outside now in their scheme. And he's got great ball skills. He's a heady player. He's a savvy vet, and you have to be very wary of what you want to throw to that side.
Two more. Matt LaFleur preaches to look small picture, not big picture, 1 week at a time, all that. How much does the competitive nature of the NFC help the players just buy into the fact that you really do need to do that more so than maybe even other years?
That's a lot of coach speak, I think. I think everybody naturally is excited about the opportunities. Us, old heads realize how this doesn't come around all the time, and we're fortunate to be 7-1. There's some guys like myself who've been around a long time and realize how special this opportunity is. We're savoring it. We're keeping the guys focused and not complacent, and excited about the opportunities. And we'll let all the cliches and stuff like that, sort themselves out. But we realize how special this is right now.
It's Halloween, so lots of kids in Wisconsin are going to wear a 12 jersey. When you're growing up in Chico, did you go trick-or-treating? Did you have a favorite costume as a kid growing up?
My favorite costume, I'm a big kid, so my favorite costume was probably my Steve Zissou, which was a couple years ago. I didn't necessarily go trick-or-treating, but I did go to a party, and we had a great party the other night with a lot of the guys. Over 50 of the guys attended the party, highlighted by Jimmy Graham and Nate Weirs, Aaron Judge and Altuve. Also Tyler Lancaster went with Nacho Libre, which was a great look. Who else was really good? There were a lot of good costumes. Some guys really didn't bring it, and it's disappointing to see that. But Balaga went as myself. He kind of made fun of my hairy arms and wrists and knuckles. Put a lot of time into that. Him and his wife dressed up as Danica. So that was a good costume as well. And then Elton Jenkins had a really good one, which I won't share because there was some inappropriateness to his costume, but it was very creative.
Oh yeah. Young Moolah, baby.